Hello and welcome back to John's Comics with Kids and my weekly edited pull list video. I'm very sorry to say this is the final one of these styled edited pull lists that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing something a little different in April, so hopefully you'll hang around and enjoy that. I'm definitely staying part of Tag Team Thursday. It's been a real pleasure, and I've proved to myself I can do a weekly edited video. But now I want to expand and try something a little different. I will still include some of the books I'm picking up each week, but hopefully you'll stick around with me for April 1st, April Fool's Day, when I premiere my new video that I'll be dropping each Tag Team Thursday. But for today, let's dive right into the books that I'm getting for the last week here in March, March 31st. If you want to find out what I'm grabbing, stick around and watch this video. My pull list is about back to normal. I feel like I'm getting more indies than anything else, and that's just about the way I usually like the pull list to be. I'm in that 7 or 8 range, so I'm trimming it down each time. A lot of Marvel this week, so let's jump in over there. And of course, I'm starting off with X-Men issue 19. I'm just really in all Hickman stuff. I want to read this all the way through till Hickman is finished. I really can't think of anybody who's done something like this before, where one talented writer has taken on one book and overseen so many others over several years to kind of tell a cohesive, or at least a somewhat unified story. I can't think of anybody who's done something like this before. It surpasses kind of what Claremont did, where he had maybe 1, 2, or maybe even 3 books at a time. This seems something far, far larger in scope and in scale. I've been really happy overall with like 90% of what I've gotten, and including this book. Love some of the variants with Emma Frost. We're continuing the story of the Vault and some of those characters like X-23 who were missing in action and now came back to us. This is going to be an exciting story just to see what happened in the Vault and what's it going to mean for the rest of Krakoa. So yeah, definitely getting X-Men issue 19. I want to also mention we're getting X-Men Legends issue 2. This is a fun throwback 90s book, basically telling a story that could have fit in chronologically with all the stories that we already read in the 90s. I enjoyed issue 1 well enough, and I wanted to read this one, but I also knew that issues 3 and 4 are going to be by the Simonsons. So I kind of wanted to get in there and really be ready to roll when they start dropping their issues next month. So yeah, I'm getting X-Men Legends issue 2. I'm also getting my other green light book is King in Black Valkyries issue 4, ending the Valkyries storyline, setting up a new Valkyries run from what I understand. Jason Aaron, King in Black, Jane Foster. It had the Sentry for a few issues. The new Valkyrie. I mean, there's so many good things I'm excited about for this book. So yes, this is high on my list of the better tie-ins. There have been 3 or 4 really great tie-ins for King in Black, and this one's near the top of the list for sure. So yeah, I'm getting that. Then I've got a few yellow light books over at Marvel. They're always dropping issue number 1s and things, so I just wanted to mention Beta Ray Bill number 1 is coming along here. Beta Ray Bill has lost his weapon, and so he's looking for a new weapon that he's going to use to protect the universe. This sort of spills out of the 4 run that Donny Cates has been doing. Daniel Warren Johnson is doing this. So, you know, if you're a Beta Ray Bill fan, this might be something you really want to read. I'm not ready to pick up on this. I haven't read enough to really be in on this, so I'm going to pass, but just wanted to let you guys know this is coming along. Same with Avengers Curse of the Man-Thing, issue number 1. This is going to be a storyline dealing with Man-Thing and a threat to the world that the Avengers can't handle, and somehow Man-Thing can. I'm not a big fan of this character, so I know enough just to be able to make the joke of, hey guys, I wanted to show you the Man-Thing in my pull list. But other than that, I'm not really a big fan of this, so I don't think I'm going to be grabbing this. It's by Stephen Orlando. There's some kind of new villain involved. So I guess it's a spec thing, but I'm not going to read it, so I'm not going to buy it. But there it is, new Man-Thing. And finally, we've got Silk issue number 1. There's a new Silk storyline happening. This seems like it's going to be an ongoing comic. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the character or interested in this Spider-Man character, the side character in the Spider-Man universe, You might want to check this out. I've never been a big Silk fan. I don't know a ton about her, so this might be something I would check out and get something out of, but I'm not ready to add to my pull list right now, so this book is going to kind of continue on without me for now. I don't know any of the people behind this. I read their names and just weren't familiar with them, so I passed on this one. But Silk #1 is dropping. And the last one is a King in Black tie-in. This is Ghost Rider, issue #1 by Ed Brisson. I am not a huge Ghost Rider fan either, which is why this is on the yellow light list. I don't know if this would be a really cool tie-in because these are cool characters. I mean, Ghost Rider versus Null could be really awesome. I might glance at the artwork to see if it pulls me in, but in general, tie-ins are a big no-no for my pull list. I really have to hear that it's amazing for me to take a shot. So I'm going to pass on this Ghost Rider book, but for those of you wanting some Ghost Rider mixed with your Null, there it is, ready for you. And that's it over at Marvel. I've got one DC book, so let's jump in and out of there real quick. My one DC book is Strange Adventures #9. I'm still reading this Tom King book issue by issue because it's really different from anything else that he's been doing. It's not really the typical kind of stuff where he's dealing with PTSD in his characters. This is more about truth and lies. And the lies that Strange has been Adam Strange has been presenting are coming back to haunt him now that the monstrous aliens are coming to Earth. The ones that he claimed he was able to defeat, now they're coming to Earth. Mr. Terrific, Batman, several really cool characters from that DC universe have been in this story, and I really like the way he draws them into the story. So I'm definitely getting this. I'm all the way through to issue 12 on this storyline. Not going to read it in trade, so I'm still getting this one in individual issues. That's it though at DC. Nothing else that I'm checking out. Nothing that's even yellow lighted for me. So let's get on to the indies. I got 4 green light indies, books that I've already read issues #1, and I really think they're great. First, I'm going to start off with Crossover issue 5. They've got 2 issues left in this first story arc. I hear issue 6 is supposed to be huge. So here's issue 5, the penultimate or setup issue for that. There's going to be future story arcs going on. This is not like a one and done kind of thing. Donny Cates has a bigger story apparently involved. So I'm definitely getting issue #5 of this. I'm also getting issue #4 of Sea of Sorrows. I've really been enjoying that. I'm not usually a big horror fan, but there's something about the style of art, the creepiness of the underwater. I don't know, maybe it's like my love for the movie The Abyss or something. I don't know. But there's just a really cool period piece horror story going on in Sea of Sorrows, and I'm just digging it. So yeah, I'm issue 4 all in. Then we've got Second Coming, issue 3, Only Begotten Son, the funniest book I'm reading right now. This book, issue #1, slayed me, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm in for the whole run. I think this story arc could be just as funny as the original, just as powerful, just as meaningful. So yeah, I'm all in on that. And my final greenlight indie book is Two Moons, issue #2. So I didn't get a chance to review this for book club, but I will say Two Moons issue 1 had a great concept. This Native American during the Civil War who is having strange visions and being sort of visited by the ghosts of his past. This was a really, really creative, unusual comic. And I really want to see what more comes out of this. The art style was kind of fun. The characters were very interesting. And it seems like there's a lot at stake here. So I'm definitely getting Two Moons issue #2. That's definitely on the pull list. If you haven't heard of this, I bet your shop probably still has issue 1. It wasn't a book that people like specced on or got crazy for. And if you want a different kind of indie read, something not your typical capes and cowls, I really do recommend Two Moons because I think you'd really enjoy it. So that's issue #2 from that book. Last up, I've got an Image #1. This is Shadecraft, issue #1. It's a mini series, so it's not an ongoing, and it has to do with a female character who feels like the shadows of the world are following her, trying to kill her, trying to do some mischievous, villainous thing to her. So she's trying to decide, how does she face and deal with a problem that you can't really touch, see, or stop. The art style on the covers is kind of cool. It's an Image #1. I did not recognize the team involved with it, but I think all of that adds up to something I want to check out. So this is definitely on my watch list, and I think I'm gonna flip through the interior art and just kind of see if I can get a feel for it. And if I like what I see, this will probably end up being a green light. So this is Shade Craft, issue number 1 from Image. So that's it, gang. 8 books on my pull list, 4 indies, 3 Marvel, and a DC. Hopefully you stick around with me for the future of this show because I'm going to start doing something really different. It's going to be a news show next week, so definitely come by on Tag Team Thursday, April Fool's Day, and check that out. If you're watching this in the live premiere, click the link down below, follow on to Old Wolf's channel because we do Tag Team Thursday, one show to the next in little 15-minute blocks, and you can catch a ton of really great new comic book day related content. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you back here next week, not for a pull list.